Hey guys, this is a cleanup from a couple weeks of walking the creek here, and I thought I'd go over it with you pretty quick if I can. Found some pretty interesting things. Two grinders here that are built almost exactly the same. You see a lot of the work, pecking and chipping that went into these grinders. They're kind of a wedge-shaped or triangular shaped grinders. Got a lot of oil on them. But that's the grinding surface there. Really worn. Used quite a bit. Here's another one that's very similar. Almost exactly like it, just a little smaller. Found these almost right beside each other. It makes me wonder if the same person didn't make them. That's a grinding surface there. And here's one that's kind of a banana shaped. I don't know. I think it's a grinder, but I'm not 100% sure. But looks a bit like a banana. It's kind of a heart-shaped stone. I don't even know if that's an artifact. I just thought it was pretty neat. Picked it up. Any ideas on that, let me know. And here's a smaller braider. I've got these all different sizes. Here in the southeast, these braiders that they use are a little bit different design than some of the ones that were made out west or Midwest. They peck out a layer out of the quartz, usually one layer out, and leave a higher layer up above, and then run those shafts along that edge there to take out the bark and the small knots. This gets into my pecking stones or small pestles. These are these kind of Texas style quartz ones that I like to find. Found a couple of those. Just a small little pecker here that you'd use to peck or chip with. This one here is a little bit larger one. This is a nice example. We've got a lot of oil on it, particularly up here on the top. And be held like that. A lot of oil on that side where the fingers would be rubbing. That's a nice one. And this one gets to the what I call the icicle kind, and I don't even know if they're from the same time period, but they're a good bit different in their design. A lot more polished. I don't even know if they're from the same time period. I'm not real sure. But I've got several of those. This is a couple firestones I found. A little granite one here. And this is a quartz one that I found here. At ladle weights, I believe. A little kind of grooved out on this bottom side. And this gets into hide conditioners here. And I believe these two were scrapers. That one's really nice. Fits your fingers really nice there. It's that black stone. Just would scrape. This one here is kind of the same way. Got a lot of oil on it. A scraping edge right there. Just kind of hold it like that. A lot of oil on it though. Guess that's from the hides. And it's a worn axe here, I believe, that I found. It's kind of chipped out here on this side where it was hafted, I think, and a little bit here also on this side. And I guess you could call this an axe head of some kind, or maybe a celt. That's a cutting edge there. These in the southeast are a little bit different from what you'll find up in the Midwest. They're not near as polished. Don't have near as sharp a bit on them as they do up in the Northeast and the Midwest, but this is another one here. Kind of the wedge. You can see how it's worn. Chisel, I guess you could call it. But I guess the correct term is maybe a celt. And this gets into my effigies. I believe this is, I'm thinking maybe a turtle head. I'm not really sure. Just saw a bit of that sticking out of the sand when I pulled it out. That's what I had. But anybody have any ideas, let me know on that. But that's what I think it might be. I'm not sure though. And that's a bit of a bird effigy. It's the tail, head, and beak and all. But I also think it was used as a pecking stone. It was worked all the way around. Smoothed off on the flat sides here. I think, you know, your thumb would be there and it would be used to peck with too. Looks kind of worn on the tip. But and here's a pot or a mortar that I found. Thought this was pretty neat. It's got a groove that runs all the way around this edge here. Almost where you could just, it's like where you could just pour it out. If it was some kind of a liquid, you could just pour it like that. It's pretty neat. All kinds of oil on it, and maybe that's what it was. They used it to make oil by crushing grains and nuts, and then they just poured it out. But yeah, it's got a little spout on it, I guess is the best thing to call it, a little spout. That's a pretty neat piece. I just saw a little bit of that sticking out of the sand and pulled it out, and that's what I had. Anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is what I got this week, and hopefully if I can get back in the creek before it gets too cold and get you another couple more videos out. Appreciate you tuning in.